change, but it all depends on you. Men who are resolved to find a way for themselves will always find opportunities enough. And if they do not find them, they will make them. That was said by Samuel Smiles, who in essence is what it's all about. If you're going down or if you're traveling down a road and it's going the wrong way, you need to change directions. And it's just as easy as changing your thoughts. You can change your thoughts. Let me share some more. We talked about the book that was written by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. Here are some notes and quotes on As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. The notes are casual and include what I believe are essential concepts, ideas, and insight from the book, along with direct quotes from the author. One, it says, I dreamed of writing a book which should help men and women, whether rich or poor, learned or unlearned, worldly or unworldly, to find within themselves the source of all success, all happiness, all accomplishments, all truth. Again, man can alter his thoughts, can alter his life by altering his thoughts. As a man thinketh, so is he. The book of Proverbs, which we're talking about. Our character is the sum of our thoughts. What are you thinking, young brothers? What are you thinking, young sisters? What are you thinking, brothers and sisters? Because what you think is going to form your life. As you can see, everything you want from your life and business starts with your thoughts. Talking about success specifically is difficult because the definition of success is different for everyone. You might want more money to pay for college while your neighbor wants more free time. The common denominator is what you think about. That's why this was written, this topic, to help you start each day with the right frame of mind. Again, the Bible tells us to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. When you wake up in the morning, what are you thinking? Are you thinking about, well, what I'm going to do today, what I want to accomplish? I. There is no team. There's no I in team. And what I'm trying to say is that Jesus needs to be the head. The Holy Spirit needs to be in there. And then there's you. You see, there's no I in team. And when your thoughts are correct and you seek first the kingdom of God, you set everything in place. You give God the opportunity to lead, because when you lead and I lead, we normally fail. But we got to remember there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. It is Ask Your Neighbor. It's simple. It's easy. We have a lot of fun. Whatever you guys want to do, that's what we do. More specifically, just like the title says, people from all over call in and
ask questions, and people will call in and answer them. Or people just call in and share whatever it is they've got to share, want to talk about. It doesn't matter to us. We open up the phone lines. We have a conversation. We try to get you guys any help that you might need or any answers that you might be looking for. And then again, like I said, if you just want to get something off your chest, you got something you want to share with everybody, we allow you to do that too. You just have to dial us up, 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. You guys know most of the time I don't push the issue. I don't bring forth a topic. I mean, I could do that every day, and we could talk about what I want to talk about, but the program's not for what I want to talk about. It is for what you want to talk about. That easy. It's for questions that you have. It's for problems that you're facing. It's for things that you want to let people know about. You want to get off your chest. That's why I do it. That's why we do it, and we hope that you guys will take advantage of it. And taking advantage of it is as simple as dialing 865-457-1380. How's that work? So you want to try it? Let's see if we can try it here this morning. Get somebody on the line and wants to talk a little bit about whatever it is. Ask Your Neighbor exclusively on WYSH. I doubt very seriously you've ever heard or participated in a program like this on any other radio station anywhere else. Hey, good morning, WYSH. Ask Your Neighbor. Hi. Hello, Racing Jason. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I hope you haven't had to give away any of that free lead lately.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Hey, let's talk about how good the Lord is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's so wonderful. He's so good. Oh man, he's been blessing me, and I'm just so happy that But we still have to go through life.
Oh yeah.
And it hurts.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, man, does it hurt. Wait till you get 65.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I turned 65 this year. Ooh. I've been getting it. I've got people, insurance companies from all walks of life.
Because you turned 65.
You're turning 65. You need to get on this. You need to get on that. Oh, Lord have mercy. I've had so many insurance. I bet I could fill up the back of a bed of a pickup with all that insurance paper I'll get. But anyway, I guess they love me.
I guess it's part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so it is. But anyway. But, yeah, I tell my cousin Cody, I said, hey, be ready. The Lord's going to fix us up with a ride. And, the very next day, they'll call. He's that good to me. So,
keeping you busy.
Yeah. Keep me busy. And, I really appreciate him. And, I've come to know him. I known him when I was little, but I went away,
Yeah.
Just pretty much like everybody's. They went away straight. And back in 98, coming up real soon, on my anniversary there, it was on Palm Sunday that he touched me. So I came to him. And I surrendered. So I've never looked back. I still see him.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's a sinner.
Sure.
I still have to ask for forgiveness every night before I go to bed or during the day. Lord, forgive me for my thoughts. And and some of the stuff that come out of my mind, my mouth.
I get that, pal.
Yeah, but man, let's has the Democrats gone ape crazy?
It appears so. They're falling apart, coming apart at the seams.
Oh my gosh! I just don't understand why one man could cause so much hate to the different parties.
I don't get it either, Jason. I really don't. I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, who doesn't want
money?
Well, that's
money.
Yeah, at the end of the day, who don't want us to cut these terrible things we're spending money on? I mean, I don't know who would say that it's good that they're spending money on the stuff that they've brought forward.
Well, see, they're getting a kickback from that.
I know that. I understand.
They're going up there to the stuff for pockets is what they're going up there to do.
I agree.
And that they should be up there working for us. Well, thank God we got some kind of pretty sensible people that's representing us.
Yeah.
But these other states, I just don't see how they can function without God. I swear I don't. But anyway, the Lord said it was going to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have leaders that's got a mind of babies. So, golly, I didn't think I'd see all this stuff in my time, but I've seen a lot of stuff.
Yes, sir.
A lot of stuff has went, it seems too fast.
Yeah,
golly, Bun.
I don't think the party that you're seeing portrayed in the news and that is the loudest party is really and truthfully what the Democratic Party is. I mean, it may be being taken over by it.
We don't ever see them bills that they're trying to pass. We don't hear about them.
Yeah.
Them transgender sex thing for mice.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I could go on and on and on about what kind of stuff they are funding with our money.
That's what I'm saying. I don't, the Democratic Party that, I don't know, just the Democrat Party that opposes, that's opposite of the Conservative Party, it's been hijacked. I don't know. I wonder if they were aware they were spending $8 million to see if they could make mice trans of our, and I just wonder who thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. Who brought that up? I'd like to know, because you need to know, and you need to mark these people.
99% of the people that I know that claim to be a Democrat would in fact, I don't think I know anybody that would think that's a good idea, but would say that's a waste of money. I think what you're seeing right now, I've talked about this before. The media likes to accentuate the very far-leaning right when they're extreme, and they like to accentuate the far-leaning left when they go extreme. Remember when the Tea Party came out and they tried to say that was the Republican Party, and everybody went crazy? Not necessarily so. It didn't represent all of us. Represented a lot of us, but not all of us. And I think that's happening right now with the Democrats. The problem is nobody's standing up and pushing back against it. Nobody's standing up and going, no, wait, that's not us, because they're afraid they're losing power. The old school is losing their power. The new school, the new people that are coming up seem to just be outrageous, spending money on stuff like this. I don't know. You might be. They're
trying to get rid of Chuck Schumer now.
Mm-hmm. Simply because he allowed a vote on whether or not to shut the government down.
Right. Yep.
Otherwise, it would have shut the government down.
The Democrats wanted to shut it down. So just think about that, because they can't get their way.
Well, there's an old saying that proves true. Dictators would rather watch their city burn and serve over the ashes as opposed to lose power.
I'm telling you, it's so
and
bad.
You're seeing that. You're watching that. They'd rather burn the whole thing down.
I just, I don't know. Golly, man. It's hard to, when you love the Lord and want to do what's right, and you see all this wrong, you want to straighten it out. I mean, I'd love to try to straighten it out, but all I can do is tell them about the Lord.
Do you ever do you watch the Five on Fox ever, Jason?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who represents what I've always known as Democrats up until recently is Harold Ford Jr.
Yeah.
Harold's from Tennessee. He ran for senator. He lost to Bob Corker in a closely contested race, and he kind of holds what I grew up knowing Democrats to be. You know what I mean? But that party has left him, and they're either going to get back to that, or I think you're going to see the demise of the Democrat Party.
Yeah, I mean they're going to go down. I mean they just so much evil they can't. They won't prosper. Well,
the people that like Harold Ford Jr. that are currently elected are too afraid to speak up, because the ones that are getting all the press time are the crazy ones. I mean, like I said, they already
they'll want to ship you out if you go against them.
Well, they packed up Nancy Pelosi and sent her out.
Oh my gosh!
Now they're going to pack up Chuck Schumer and send him out. Just what are they going to come up with next? I mean, if those two people right there aren't
back to San Francisco and retire.
If those folks aren't liberal enough for them, I don't know what is. We'll see.
Well, golly, bum, I'd like to smack a knot on a lot of them. Say it. But anyway, I mean,
I think if you just
my sinful body, I would just my reaction on that. Yeah, it's just silly and it's stupid.
Well, darkest before the dawn and all that other stuff, and sometimes in the military they'll take a young man or a young woman and they tear you down. They tear you down to your very core, and then they build you back up into something better. I think you're watching the Democratic Party being torn down. I don't know what it'll be built back up to, or if it will, but I know for a fact you're watching it literally come apart at the seams. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, and I said the other day, I wish that Republicans would quit telling them, hey, you need to stop doing this. This is wrong, and do it this way so that you do better in the polls. Just let the Republicans need to let this run its course and come up in the midterms. They'll end up with a supermajority in both the House and the Senate, and they won't have to worry about any of this tomfoolery. They'll get done what they want to get done.
Well, I'm going to say this. There's still a chance for them. God gives you every kind of chances.
Yep.
That he'll let you go so long. And well, I mean, if you turn your back on him, he'll turn his back on you. So, it's coming up on Passover. That should be the greatest celebration ever. Because Jesus gave up his life for simple people like them people up there, Democrats and me. I don't think they're Democrats. I just think they're demons.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, try to get as close again to the Lord. Try to read your Bible every day. I'm in Isaiah. So, oh boy.
I'm ahead of mine. I was doing a daily Bible reading, and I've got ahead on.
Where you at?
Right now, I'm on day 126 of 365. So I'm a number of days ahead, but it bounces around a little bit. But we're in Psalms right now. That's what I've been reading.
Ain't the word good.
It is. And I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I'd never done this until recently, but I've actually got the app. I've actually got the app Bible Recap, and it will read it to you. So,
Right.
like when I'm driving, I had it on the other day, and James Davis said, "What are you reading? What are you listening to?" I said, "The Bible." He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." Right around, So I listened to it in my, in my slow times. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm inside.
All righty, buddy.
Have a good one,
Y'all
pal.
have a good day. Hey, and if you can, try to help out somebody that's less fortunate than you, and just try to be kind
That's
to
it.
one another.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too, Jason. Bye-bye. This is WYSH Radio and Ask Your Neighbor. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Hey, I wasn't going to call anymore, but after a couple weeks, I guess, you still haven't read that they're not trying to turn mice transgender.
Yeah.
The actual study it's transgenic, which means they add cells to mice to make them more responsive to testing of cancers and diseases that humans get. That transgender thing was completely not right.
Okay.
It's another product of the word search that the WYSH guys do, where they put in different words and all the programs that kick out anything, just like they did with the audio, the studies for hearing, they had a part of your ear or a part of the studies is diverse. So instead of looking at that as DEI, it has nothing to do with DEI. It's a portion of a study that they're doing to help people who are deaf. Transgenic is what they do to mice, adding cells. It's not transgender mice. They did not spend $8 million making mice transgender. And if they did, how would you know that they were transgender? Would they start wearing more velvet or false eyelashes? I mean, seriously, think about that.
I think they were studying the effects as they shot them with the different testosterones or estrogens to see if they could make them more, more of the opposite sex is what I understood.
No, that's completely wrong. In order to do studies they've eliminated lots of cancer research now. All these WYSH guys have cut out money to research cancers and diseases. Also, I read this morning that they're having to hire 200,000 people back that they fired. Whether or not they'll do it, but that because he's not following any of the judge's orders that they're making. But it's transgenic, not transgender.
Well, I'm reading an article, right, literally in front of me right now from CNN. It says the Biden administration, institutes of health, doled out millions of dollars in taxpayer-funded grants for institutes across the country to perform transgender experiments on mice. $445,000 was spent on this is the name of the study, a mouse model to test effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy on HIV vaccine induced immune responses on mice. $2,500,000 was spent on reproductive consequences of steroid hormone administration. These mice manifest in different ovarian architecture and have altered follicogenesis. I don't even know the words, but it's got a list of them. If you just go online and transgender mice study, and you can find a lot of them. And from the research groups that are doing it, some of them are defending why they're doing it to try and see what makes kids want to become transgender. But it's obviously being done, and it seems it's being done with tax dollars. Again, that was just a quick, and this is from a number of different places. There's one from whitehouse.gov. Okay, we'll disregard that one. The American for Medical Progress, the Wisconsin Examiner, the publicmedical.ncbi.nim, I don't even know what that is, National Institutes of Health, a mouse model mimicking gender-affirming treatment from 2023. So obviously they are doing that. It may not be making mice put on fake eyelashes and velvet, but it seems that they're studying what or why the causes are, and if they induce or inject certain things, if it makes mice act more feminine or masculine, and I don't know how they can tell the difference. But
Right.
there are these tests going on that are related to it. Again, but even that, I don't want my money spent for that. If you believe all the money they were spending was fine.
No, I don't believe all the money they were spending, but I think a lot of the things that have come out have been inaccurate, and they've also had to disclaim a lot of the things that they've said they've spent money on. They really haven't found that much money that's not even part of the money they're claiming. And what are they doing with it? Why would we have to vote to raise the cap on national debt if they're finding trillions of dollars in savings?
Now, I do find where you got the transgenic, and this is from Forbes. It says that much of the drugs was about the use of transgenic mice that are being used to study hormone treatments of the hormones that are given to transgender people. Transgenic is the administration of drugs that are given to transgender people, and that, not always is the use of mice, is what the administration referred to. Transgenic mice are mice with modified DNA. So the transgenic is to modify the DNA.
I know what it is. I know about it. One of my friend's daughters did that for years. She had to quit because she couldn't do it anymore because it was harming the little mice. I know exactly what it is. But it's
also used when people transgender. So
the transgenic mice are used for studies. They add cells to them so that they are more human-like, and they can do cancer studies and studies for various diseases.
Well, it seems as if that what you're saying is accurate, but it also seems that they're also using them to induce transgenic. Let me see. I'm trying to go through the whole Forbes. I think we can agree that Forbes is a pretty, I'll say, down the line. It seems more left-leaning, but it acknowledges that it is also used in these studies of transgender and to study the mice to see about. Are often that it is often used. These studies, the things they're given the mice, is also often used given to transgender people. So, I think that
Well, they probably do study the effects of hormones and stuff. If people are taking them, I would say where that would probably be studied. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they're spending $8 million on, making mice transgender. And this is just an off, which I wasn't really going to say much, but, if we can spend $8 million to make mice transgender, I guess it's okay if we're spending $10 million every couple of weeks for golfing in Mar-a-Lago. What's to say that that's okay?
Well, the president is going to do what he does, play vacation, or
right.
Go on vacation and do the things, but I can guarantee you that you will find way more people in the United States of America that believe it's okay to play golf than it is to make boy mice, girl mice.
Well, if they're serious about saving money for the American people and lowering our grocery prices and the cost of homes, I don't think anybody would be spending that kind of money on playing golf.
Well, I don't know where you get your information, or I guess it's the security.
When I go to the grocery store.
I'm talking about how much it costs them to play golf. I guess you're talking about the security.
I guess you can read it every day. They're posting it somewhere.
Okay. Well, that said, I don't begrudge the president playing golf. I don't want him to play golf as much as Obama did, but he can play golf when he wants to. But the fact of the matter is, you can see him playing golf. You can see what he's doing. They lied to you and me about the stuff that they were doing under the table. You didn't know it till the president said it, and people started fact-checking it because they're liars, and they cheat, and they lie, and they don't want to tell us what they're spending their money on.
And you don't think Trump cheats and lies?
Nope. Not to you and me.
Ron, I used to listen to him when he was on Howard Stern.
I listened to him when he was on Howard Stern. I followed him since he was $900 billion in debt. I know.
Things he said, just absolutely. When Howard congratulated him on his mistress Marla being pregnant, he said, well, I tried to get her to get rid of it, but she won't.
Yeah.
The things he has said, if people don't think he lies, and I don't want to just, anyway. It's
Look,
just, I know you're going to believe what you believe. I have heard him comment about going into rooms where young girls in teen beauty pageants were naked about their bodies. I mean, he is absolutely, I haven't been able to stand him since then.
Well, it's obvious.
What?
I said, that's obvious. It doesn't matter what the job that he's doing. You've disliked
He's not doing a good job. He's got us in recession. I have lost $40,000.
Are you kidding me? You think that anybody can go in and in 2 months, 3 months, change the damage done over the last 4
years?
There was
no damage. We were the world looked to us. We were the best recovery from COVID. Okay. The recession we were in at the end of 2020, we made the best recovery. We had the lowest job losses. The best.
Are you kidding me? All of those job recoveries were where they laid people off from COVID. You can't be that naive. When you shut down companies, people lose jobs, people go to working from home. Then when they start coming back to their jobs, you count that as a recovery? That's not a recovery.
I count it as low unemployment when it shows up in the figures, but we won't know how low the unemployment is now because the head of commerce has said he's going to change the way that stuff's reported.
So we're going to, because it's bad, we're going to lie about it. It doesn't matter if it says it's good. You're still not going to believe it. Look.
It's not. It's not going to be good. I mean, look. How can they lay off all these? How do you imagine?
How
they lay off all those people? What are our unemployment rates going to be?
Well, let me tell you this: if I had people here that were employed from my radio station that wouldn't come to work, wasn't doing the job that they were paid for, and I laid them off, it would be better for the rest of the people that were here because that money could be distributed among those people that are doing the work. Just because you're firing somebody that doesn't do the job doesn't mean it's going to hurt the economy. Have them get a job that's somewhere else other than the government. Go get off the government tit and get a job.
They've been staying. Them come back to work because they're finding.
They're having some of them come back to work
without any recourse.
First of all, they weren't at work; they were at home. They were more than 80% weren't even coming in.
Well, they showed them walking out of the building carrying boxes with all their stuff in it. So
that was at USAID, absolutely. Right. And I'm very glad they did that. Very happy they did.
Well, you'll be real happy when all the diseases from all over the world start proliferating and make their way back over here.
You let me know when
COVID did.
You let me know when that happens, and we'll go buy a mask.
Well, it's already starting to happen.
Okay, I don't believe you. I think you're inaccurate. I think you just take.
Okay, well, that's that. I haven't listened to you since the first day you said that about the transgendered mice, and I figured, well, I don't have anything to do today. I'd turn you on, but truly, this is, we're just never going to agree, and it's just.
Well, the future will play out and prove one way or the other. So, I mean, we could talk about it all day long. We'll talk about it in 2 years,
But please tell Jason that I'm not a demon. Tell him that I'm a good person.
I believe you're a good person.
For the community, and I don't really like hearing him talk about me being a demon.
Well, as I tried to clarify, I don't think that the vast majority of everybody I know that are Democrats in the Democratic Party do not believe in all of the stuff that's going on in the Democratic Party right now or being proposed.
I agree with you on that.
And I said the same thing about us and the Tea Party. We were called the same exact crap by your side when the Tea Party started. So don't tell me about it. I just say we'll talk about it in 2 years. And I would be willing to bet a large sum of money that we will be much better off than any year in the Joe Biden administration.
Well, I hope we are.
I hope we are too.
Right now, I'm sitting down $40,000.
How much did you go down when COVID hit? It's been up and down and up and down all through.
COVID was bad, but after that, when things started coming back.
Exactly. When you make adjustments.
Doubled.
When you make adjustments.
Doubled under Biden.
That's just it. When you make adjustments, it goes down. When those adjustments are fixed and the market sees that the waste and trouble is gone, it will do just like it did. It'll come back. I tell this to all the people talk to me all the time about their 401ks. Hold on to them, sit and watch them, look at the different studies.
In 2008, I lost almost everything, but I had enough.
And it came back.
I had enough time to recover because I was young and I was working.
Well, you just told me it doubled in COVID. So if it did that in those 3 years of time, if it dropped and come all the way back in 3 years of time, hopefully the good Lord, you'll have more than 3 years with us.
Well, I don't know if I will or not.
Well, I hope you do.
I hope I do too, but I just, I don't know. With the way things are right now, I don't know if I will.
Well, I hope you have many more years to call and argue with me.
Well, I don't think I will anymore, Ron, but thanks. 'Cause I don't think we're not gonna be able to agree with each other, and we're
not going to agree with each other on most of these issues, but there are plenty of other things we've agreed on over the years. And like I said, the easiest way to do is just wait for the proof in the pudding to see what happens. We can predict what's going to happen.
I know what things were like at the end of 2020, and that wasn't good. So I'm hoping that it changes and things get better.
All right. Well, I hope that it gets better and better and better too.
Okay. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Good morning, WYSH. Ask your neighbor.
Sounds like she listens to CNN.
I understand. Yes, she's pretty well read. I mean, we've had a lot of discussions that she's pretty well read, and it's not always that particularly left leaning when she and I have conversations. She's listened for years, but yeah, I've said this before to people. You've got to diversify what you listen to and what you read, because both sides lie. Both sides accentuate what the best of themselves. They don't tell all of the truth. But what they're doing right now, take all the sides out of it. I'm just talking about what we wasted money on, what we're wasting money on, what they've found already. I don't know anybody that agrees with that. And with a simple search, I found that, that transgenic, and it's being used for transgendering mice. It said it. Forbes magazine.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's there.
I agree 100%. I mean, I just don't see how some people can have the facts thrown in their face and just, I don't know, come up with something totally different.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think just like that, when the president said they're spending $8.5 million to see if they can make mice transgender, and just like she said, it's transgenic. Well, both is right. Transgenic is not just being used. It's not the only use that it is when they're infusing these mice with that. There are other studies, but they're also using it to study if they can make mice more feminine or male, more masculine. They're trying to see if they can transgender them. It's part of it. Both sides are right. One side's going to accentuate what it thinks, and the other side's going to sing what it. So there's a little bit of truth in both, but the truth of the matter is it's wasteful. In the way that they were using it and in the way it was presented to us, it's wasteful. But what about the other stuff? What about $162 million of empty buildings that we've got, that we lease? We're leasing buildings from people that are friends of other people that we don't do nothing with. I mean, how can you explain that away?
I don't know, but I'm wanting them to find out who was getting these Social Security checks.
Yeah, I mean, you heard...
I mean, they should be able to trace whoever's cashing those.
I'd say they have, or they, at least by now they have, and the president said there was one person that was 300 and some odd years old that was getting one.
354 years old. Older than our country.
Yeah. And again, I don't know how there'd be two sides to that. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, maybe they could say it's just a mistake and they've been sending it out, but someone's been cashing it. If someone's been cashing it, then somebody's been committing fraud. And if they're committing fraud, then that's waste. It needs to be, stopped.
Well, something else I've been trying to figure out too is why do they want these criminals back in our country?
Yeah, that's something. I mean,
that's crazy.
I watched NBC interview Vice President Vance, and he talked about these gangs taking over taking over apartment complexes across the country. And the lady commentator stopped him and said, now, Mr. Vance, it's only a very few apartment complexes in our country they're taking over. Like, that would be okay. That it's okay if we let these illegal aliens that have no business being here come in, rape, pillage, plunder, throw people out of these apartment complexes and take them over. It's okay because it's just a few.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, That
I think
mindset.
this last federal judge has stepped over his bounds.
He has, and it'll be overturned as quick as it goes to the next level or the Supreme Court. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, guaranteed. Mark my words.
Well, they were just sending them up there to live with those people. I mean, if they want them, let them have them.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee you they won't bring them back in here. It's illegal for them to be in here. Now, and for them to say it's illegal for us to deport them and send them out, I don't know what Constitution these people are looking at, but it's not. And like I said, the proof is going to be in the pudding. Watch. They're not going to come back. They'll win at the Supreme Court level if it goes that far, and they are going to continue to deport people that aren't supposed to be here. If you're here illegally, I would recommend you leave and try to come in legally if you ever want a chance of being here. Because for the next 4 years, this government is going to rain down all kinds of problems on illegal aliens that are here, especially the criminal element.
Yeah. Well, I think there's, the ones that have done it right, they're good people. I mean,
yeah,
all people are good somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. Well, if you talk to people that have came here and went through the process legally, they are more against these illegal aliens than even Americans are. I mean, because they were put through the ringer to get here.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to leave it. I got some work to do here, but mainly called in to say I heard an old saying a long time ago, and I've found it to be true, that you can't argue with an idiot. He'll beat you to death with stupidity every time.
Well, I believe that's true, but I don't. I made the mistake a long time ago of calling somebody an idiot on the air, and I will not make that mistake again. And I don't think that. I just think that people, they get locked. We all get locked into what we think, and sometimes I think that people are just misled in what they believe. I think everybody would agree with that. Some believe I'm misled, and I believe they're misled, but I believe they're misled in what they believe. I don't believe they're doing it intentionally. I think they're misled. But I'm getting ready to read off the stuff that we've wasted straight. This is not, people can fact check it, research it, whatever. But I'm just getting ready to read off a few things of waste that they've discovered and stopped.
Okay, well, I'm gonna sit here and listen to you.
Thank you, bud. Bye-bye.
So I'll appreciate your show.
Appreciate you, sir. Bye-bye. I'll say this, too. People talk about Elon Musk. And he's the richest man in the world, bar none. And as the market goes down, his wealth goes down extensively. But there is absolutely, positively no reason from a monetary basis or even a power basis for him to put himself out there on the line to do this. People have blown up his car dealerships. I watched him on the Joe Rogan podcast. His life has been threatened numerous times. He's got security. He said they're going to try to assassinate me because he's pulling all this out. If you don't believe, honest to God, that there's a deep state, dark state in our government wasting billions of dollars, probably trillions of dollars, then you're naive because they found enough of it to know that it's there. At the moment, they think they're approaching $1 trillion in waste and savings. Now, as the president said, he prefers that Mr. Musk use a scalpel as opposed to a hatchet. I agree. Are you going to make mistakes going in there? Yeah, especially when there's so much of it. You could make a mistake. Could you throw the baby out with the bathwater? Possibly. Yeah. But if you find out you've made that mistake, you get it, you bring it back. So there's going to be mistakes made, but just because there's mistakes made to say we shouldn't be doing anything, I can go back and find you Joe Biden talking about we need to find the waste and get it out. I can go back and find you Hillary Clinton saying it. I can go back and find you Barack Obama saying it. Guess who's doing it? President Bush. Now President Bush said it too, but now President Trump is doing it and everybody's mad. It's just like moving our embassy to Jerusalem. Every president said they were going to do it. Every single one of them in modern history. And President Trump did it, and people got mad at him. You're mad because he's doing what he said he was going to do. Everybody is so used to them saying it and leaving everything the status quo. And coming in and turning something upside down it's gonna cause disruption. And the end of the day, that disruption should lead to a stronger, better country. And I agree with that. $15 million was spent to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and given to business communities. 15 million of your dollars sent to Serbia so that they could do, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which means it doesn't matter if you know how to do the job or not. If you don't know what sex you are, then you should be chosen first. Oh, I got plenty of them more. I just don't want to leave you guys hanging much. How about $70,000 for a diversity, equity, and inclusion musical in Ireland? Your tax dollars paid for that. What could you do with $70,000 right now? That every dollar we give to that, they had to take from someone else to give to you. Let's go to Ireland and watch a bunch of men in dresses playing in girls' bathroom dance. Good morning, WYSH. Ask your neighbor.
Good morning to you, Ron Meredith.
Brother Mike, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Been listening to the show there. I heard that guy with a saying there, and I kind of had one too there. Got it straight off Andy Griffith's show. The old guy that was selling that lecture, he said, none so blind as those who cannot see.
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
Yes, absolutely there. But, yeah, I'd heard enough about this politics there. I was wanting to hear you talk about JD's kicking ass lawn. I'm sorry. JD's kicking grass lawn.
He has got T-shirts now. I'm tickled to death.
I saw that. It was cool. It was like a karate man kicking down the grass.
He told me, and he was telling me here just a while back, he's going to bring some people in, and he was telling me how he's going to handle his employees. And he was asking me for my advice. He was like, I think I'm going to give this employee like half of what we do. And I was like, well, before you do that, why don't you put them on an hourly wage and, let them earn more of as they go. So he's got a business mind rolling around in there. So he'll do all right, I believe.
I didn't know if he was going to hire employees. I thought maybe that he was just going to buzz around the neighborhood on your mower there.
He's going to buzz around the neighborhoods on the mower. He's already got one friend that's helping him this summer. So he's already got one person he's paying. And then he's talking about not this summer, but next summer he'll be driving. And he's already got plans. He's already got what kind of vehicle and everything else picked out that he's going to use. He hopes to have a full-blown lawn. He hopes to have 40 yards to mow this summer, and then he's planning on increasing it from there.
Oh, wow. Sounds like he's going to stay busy.
Well, if he gets 40 yards, he's going to stay busy.
Hey, guys, does he have a weed eater, too?
Oh, he went out and bought. In fact, Tracy took him down to Tractor Supply here probably last summer. He'd saved his money up, and they had like a $280 weed eater on sale for $180, and he was like, will you please take me down so I can get it? So she took him down, and he got him about a $200 weed eater. Yeah, he's got a weed eater. And then I gave him two of my old ones that he's got that he has Jacob fixing up. Jacob fixed one of them for him, so he's got a backup.
Does he got a blower?
Oh, yeah. He's got the whole 9 yards, pal.
Oh, gosh, he just needs a truck and a trailer now.
He's got a self-propelled push mower, and then my father gave him he tried to buy it. He asked my dad he said, could I buy your Cub Cadet? And Dad said, well, no. Well, you give me for it. And he said, well, I'll give you $400 for it. And my dad said, well, I'll take that. So he took it down to him, but then Dad wouldn't take the money. He said, take that and buy something else. So he's got a 46-inch Cub Cadet riding mower, and he's got the push mowers, he's got the weed eaters, and he's got at least one guy helping him. So there you go.
Oh, wow. So he does the riding, and the guy helping him does the blowing and the weed eating.
Well, I don't know. He didn't use the rider last year. He got that toward the end of the year. He just used the push mower last year, and I don't know that if he had anybody helping him last year or not. But I know he's got somebody this year. He's already told me.
And he's got at least 40 yards lined up.
That's his goal. His goal is, I don't know how many he's got lined up at this minute, but his goal is to have 40 yards this year and then start growing it from there.
Oh, so is he advertising a little bit, or just word of mouth around the neighborhood?
No, what he's doing, we got him yard signs. I don't know if you remember those, but he's got JD Kicking Grass yard signs. He puts those in the yards that he's doing. He had one in my yard, and then he's got one in his mother's yard, and then he's got, I think I got him 12 signs. He had them, and he moves them from different houses when he does them, but he's got those that he moves around. Most of it is in my neighborhood and his mom's neighborhood right now, because he can't drive, so.
Oh, okay, then. Well, did he come up with his own gimmick for his for the name of his business?
Absolutely, 100%.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
I did too. It tickled me to death when he told me about it. Yeah, he came up with it all on his own.
Oh, well, that's good there. Shoot, he'll mow grass while he's in school, then, sounds like.
It's good because, I have him every other week. And when the week that I have him, he mows my yard. The week that I don't have him, Semper Fi mows my yard. So I got it perfect.
Oh, okay, then. Well, good deal, then. Well, I'm proud of him, but he's still... Has he been hooping any on his stenciled out ball court, too?
He will be back Friday. Yes, he has. I went ahead and had to put some sealer on it because I was afraid the paint was going to pull off. So I've got it all sealed for him, ready to go. He'll be back Friday.
Oh, okay, then. So did... Anderson County was on spring break last week.
Yes.
And that's when you took off there from...
we went horseback riding.
On the show on Thursday, when you had Jimbo Whaley up there.
Yes.
I just had to run off there. I'd like to listen to him a little bit more. He seems like a great guy.
Oh, he is a fantastic guy. David had somewhere to go to, and then I was leaving at noon. So I can't remember, he had to do something to do at the bank, but he told me he had to be out of here by 11:15 or 11:30 too. So I said, that's good. I got to leave by 12. So let's
just wrap it up and get on out.
We still were here to about 11:15, 11:20.
Oh, okay then. And then I talked to Jay on Friday. Of course, he had David Farmer called in with his knowledge of country music, and I think he was going on about, I think it was Patsy Cline this past Friday there. He told stories about Patsy Cline there. He's just a plethora of knowledge when it comes to country music.
David Farmer definitely is. He knows a lot, especially, and Hank Williams, man, what he knows about Hank Williams, it's amazing. I need to get him up here and talk about just Hank. He did that a couple times when he was coming in with David.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jay's fairly versed, too.
Yeah, Jay knows a little bit about country music here and there. He's been playing it for a while.
Oh, absolutely there. But I also asked Jay, I didn't realize, and you may have made the announcement, Ron. You did. I didn't hear it there, but every time I heard the weather, I heard Mike Witcher, and I thought, well, Captain Accurate must be on vacation or something. And then he told me that he moved off to Virginia or West Virginia somewhere.
Yeah, he took a job as chief meteorologist in Virginia, and they precluded him from doing the weather for us anymore. Or he would have still done it, but he couldn't do it. He wasn't allowed to, so he had to leave and do that. I hated to lose him, but Mike Witcher does a great job too.
Witcher does a great job.
Yeah, he does. Mike does a great job. So
I liked him when he was on TV.
Me too. He's a good guy, and I'm glad he agreed to do it for us.
Good deal then. But I told Jay that Captain Accurate there, he was with one of the local TV stations around here, and they ended up going in a different direction or some crap.
They fired him over making a statement about his faith.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was?
Yep, that's what it was.
Oh, wow.
They had hired a new GM there, and he said something. I can't remember exactly, but we talked. He worked for me as a salesman too. David Aldrich did.
Okay.
So, I mean, we had opportunity to talk, but the moral of the story is he said something about his faith. They told him he needed to basically recant it or explain it, and he said he wasn't going to do that, and they fired him. There was a lawsuit and a lot of other stuff. I don't know where it went, and I didn't delve into all of that, but I know that's what happened.
Well, I'm glad he stood his ground.
Well, me too, and I'm glad he ended. You know, I loved having him here. I loved working with him. He was a tremendous guy. Great. I mean, lift you up to be around him. Very positive person to be around. But I loved having him here. But I'm very glad that he's now in a very big position, chief meteorologist over a large station in Virginia. So I'm tickled
for him then.
Yes, sir.
Good for him there. And I saw you out. I see on a Facebook picture there where you was out to eat there one time there with the Y in the sky.
Oh, Pete, yeah, Lord,
yeah.
I've been friends with Pete Michaels for 40 years.
Is he still flying?
Yeah, he still flies.
Oh, okay then. Well, I know that. I was telling Jay that I know that Mike Witcher flies.
Yeah, he does. I don't know that. I didn't know that until he came on board with us, and I found that out. But, yeah, he's a pilot. He's got his pilot's license.
Did he leave the station of his own doings, or?
I think so. I don't know everything there. I've never had a conversation with him about that, so I don't know, to tell you the truth. Don't know anything else. I don't know anything about it.
Okay, then I think he was flying some, spending time with family, and I think he was trying to perfect the art of craft brewery.
Well, good luck to it.
Yeah, he was trying to learn to do that stuff there, but he's just a tremendous guy and does a great job with the weather.
Thank you. I'll let him know.
You talk to him, you tell him I think he's great there. I love listening to him, and I listened to him when he was on the station with Abby and Heather.
Yeah.
And of course, Rebecca Sweet's there now. She lives right over here in Powell, and she's just sweet as she can be too there. So that's my channel of choice in the mornings until the WYSH rings off. They start up at 4:30.
Yeah, we join them at 5. We're live from 5 to 6:27 every morning with them. So we put them on here. So I've had a relationship with them since 1990, 35 years that I've been airing their morning news. So.
Oh, okay. Then that goes all the way back to old Russell Bibbins' days.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Before Russell, back to Bill Williams, Carl Williams, all those guys.
Bill and Carl, guys, I about forgot about them. That was even before Bibbins.
There you go. Head down the road, buddy, down the road.
No kidding there. Times are going by there, but...
all right, pal.
I was going to ask you to put an old man on the birthday list there for March the 22nd.
All right. Give me a name. Who is it?
Well, you're talking. 69 on March the 22nd.
You got it. I've got it right here written down. I'll put you on there. Maybe you'll win.
You never know. Okay. Thank you, Ron.
See you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for holding. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor on WYSH.
Yes. Back to politics here.
All right.
I'm a truly Trump fan all the way, and he's not had time to do anything. People don't understand that.
Yes, sir.
But as the finding all the money that's been spent by Democrats to other things like transgender and all that,
yeah,
it has to be voted in on both parties. How do the Democrats get all the blame when the Republicans have to know where the money's going to?
Well, they say it was coming through what they call NGOs, non-government organizations. There would be votes to have this money allocated that could be used for these non-government organizations that, obviously people didn't know what they were doing, but it was funneled through that. So I don't think they had a vote on putting on a transgender opera in Colombia. I don't think they voted to spend $47,000 for that. I think that came through one of these non-government organizations, NGOs, where they give the money, which is basically a way of putting money in something that is a slush fund for things that these elected officials want but don't want to vote for. So I'm not sure any Democrat or Republican right off the bat knew that they were given $6 million to fund better tourism in Egypt but they did.
I still don't understand. It seems like both parties in Congress and Senate and all of that in the House will always have to know some way where money is being spent in 4 years.
I'll tell you this. The next time that Congressman Flashman comes up here, I will ask him that specifically because he's voted. The money that's being spent, he's voted on. So I'll ask him specifically about that, or I'll send him a text here in a minute and find out. And you call me and remind me tomorrow, and I'll tell you what he says. I'll find out how they spent this money with the knowledge of Republicans or with the knowledge of Democrats or without, how they got by with it. I'll see if I can find out if he knows.
And I know Senator Ken Yeager real well. I've talked to him all the time on the phone, and I'm going to ask him that same question if he knows anybody that would know how all the money got spent without anybody knowing about it.
Well, I know a lot of it went through USAID, and once the money was allocated to them, then they had the opportunity to choose how it was spent. Again, I don't know that the Congress or the Senate voted for the specific items of what they spent. They voted to give the money to USAID, but I'm not sure they knew all of what USAID was doing with it. So anytime you give it to a non-government organization, once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, what they spend it on, they spend it on.
I didn't know where he was at in the first place anyway.
No, he didn't. He was not healthy. And I think if they find that he had signed a bunch of this stuff with auto pens that he was unaware of, I'm not sure if it doesn't actually bear the president's signature that it's going to be upheld, that it's going to be legal.
Well, the people from Illinois run the presidency, Obama and Oprah Winfrey.
If that's the case, we're going to be in trouble. Hopefully, that's what they're shaking out right now. That's why everybody's kicking up so much dust, because they don't want it to be known.
She let him announce his presidency on Oprah,
Yeah.
And then she was one of his biggest backers.
I know. I understand that.
So he ran the office even though Biden was elected. Well, not elected, pushed him there because he didn't get the votes that he was supposed to get.
Well, what I can say is right now, Trump's doing exactly what he told everybody in the country he was going to do. I don't know why they're surprised. They told him he was going to do it, lock, stock, and barrel. So he's doing what he said, and the proof's going to be in the outcome, and the outcome's going to take more than 8 weeks, however long, 9 weeks, however long he's been in there. It's going to take a while to do this. He's gonna make some mistakes. Elon Musk is going to make some mistakes and fire some people he needs to hire back. I'm sure that's going to happen. But like I said, when you realize you made a mistake, you just fix it. That's all you got to do. But in the meantime, he's going to get rid of all this slush money. Watch and see. As long as they keep him in there.
Perfect.
No,
nobody's perfect.
No, sir. But,
and when you're into politics, and nobody's completely honest.
Yep, I agree with that too.
And in 2028,
your phone's cutting out a little bit.
The guy that's running for governor, OIB, whatever.
Yeah.
I think he would be a darn good candidate for president because he can talk and he knows his politics.
Vivek Ramaswamy, yeah, and he's a very intelligent man too. He is very intelligent, and he was saying the same stuff that President Trump was saying about all the waste going on in Washington and identifying it. So yeah, I think you'll see that.
Him and JD would be too good.
You'll probably see both of them in a primary, and Mark Rubio as well.
Yes, Rubio is good, but I just don't know about that. We'll find out the way he handles the foreign policies.
Well, like I said, the proof's going to be in the pudding, whether Trump's doing the right thing, the wrong thing, if it's going to help the country, hurt the country. More people believed it was going to help the country. More in the popular vote, more in the electoral college, in almost every county in the United States of America voted more Republican than Democrat. They chose what he was saying. He's not given any surprises. He's doing exactly what he was saying, and that's what the country asked for, and people need to respect it. They may not like what the president's doing, but they lost. The Democrats lost. More people voted for Donald Trump than voted for Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Obama, whoever's running the country. He won, and he's going to do what he said he's going to do, and those of us that voted for it and believe it and like it, and those of y'all that voted against it and don't believe it aren't going to like it, but too bad. Put on your big boy pants and deal with it.
Yeah, and the Democrats are still paying for what they done in 2020, along with the money they owe for this past election.
Yeah. They are, the Democratic Party right now is upside down. They did run a deficit. They spent more money than they had. They spent over $1 billion. So there you go. To lose. Boy, that'd be awful. Could you imagine spending $1 billion to lose?
Oh my God.
Phew.
And here, there's another one fixed to go out like Pelosi is Schumer.
Yep. And again, the Democratic Party, I said this before, they're eating their own right now. Because he did not stop them, let them shut the government down. I think he did the right thing. But I remember when the same thing happened with Republicans. This has not been that long ago. I mean, we threw our own Speaker of the House out from, some of the fringe end of the Republican Party that started with the Tea Party. They tried to villainize Republicans when and the Tea Party started too, and tried to say we were all, in disarray. And we were to a certain extent, and the Democratic Party is right now. It'll survive. I just don't know what'll come out of it. What came out of that was Donald Trump and the Congress and the Senate that you see right now. That's what happened out of the birth of the Tea Party. So we'll see.
What about the McCarthy? I thought he was been a good speaker.
Kevin, I thought he was a good speaker too, and I wish they had not outed him, but I like who we have now more.
I understand. Yeah, he seems like a very intelligent guy.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to see the guy from Louisiana.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
I love him. I love listening to him talk. He's hilarious.
He can talk, I tell you. And he, like you say, he is hilarious.
Oh, I love listening to him, yes. Senator Kennedy from Louisiana, and man alive, when he gets somebody, when he's asking questions to somebody, he just leads them right into where he wants them to go, man. He's hilarious. Love it.
They started something down in Louisiana and said it's going to spread throughout the United States. I can't remember what it is, and there's thousands of jobs people are getting from this. Is it the drilling of the oil or what?
I don't know. Louisiana has a lot of, energy underground, a lot of oil, and then they have a lot off the coast there too. So I don't know. I'm not real familiar with what you're talking about at the moment. I'll look it up.
I watch Fox News all the time, and I heard it on that. Then I watch that, what is that, Newsmax?
Yes.
And News Nation.
Okay. I'm not familiar with News Nation. Now, I've seen Newsmax. I think I've got it on my cable. I don't watch it often, but I do watch Fox, and I do watch some of the, it's gotten to the point, though, like when we're watching just the regular news on network TV, it's just so irritating. They don't ask a question. They want to make a statement. It's just, they want to say, President, since you're the worst president in the world, why don't you do, they start off with something like that, like he's supposed to answer that question. I just don't understand why they can't ask a question, let him answer it, and go on.
That News Nation, I think it's got that Como on there.
Okay. I'm not seeing it.
He gets some good people on there. He had Congressman that's from Knoxville on there the other day.
Tim Burchett?
Yeah, and he is wearing an orange shirt, and they're making a comment about that because the other guy had a suit and tie on the other side.
Well, if you know Tim Burchett at all, I'm surprised he wasn't in his Carhartt jacket and an orange shirt.
Yeah, he's got bunch of nice old motorcycles I've seen.
Well, I didn't know that.
He's a collector on them.
I didn't know that. I'm going to ask him about that next time I talk to him. I had no idea.
Yeah. And but otherwise, it's been great talking to you, and you have a great week, and enjoy this warm and cold weather.
It's going to be warm today, 70 degrees. Cold in the morning, warm in the afternoon.
Cold Thursday.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. It is supposed to turn Thursday. Yeah, I don't want to call anybody idiots. And again, none of us know with the future what's going to happen. You can see what's happening now. You know, been there, done that. And see what happens with what the president's doing. We gave $2.5 million to Vietnam for electric vehicles for their population. Why are we buying them electric vehicles? I can't afford an electric vehicle. Can y'all? Well, we did. We bought $2.5 million worth of them for Vietnam. We gave $47,000 of your money to Colombia so they could put on a transgender opera. We gave $32,000 to Peru so that they could print a transgender comic books for children. Is that okay? We gave $2 million to activists in Guatemala for sex change operations and LGBT activism. $2 million to Guatemala. Not even folks here. And they won't pay for whatever it is you need done to your heart or your insurance or whatever. But we can send over $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. We got veterans that have to wait 3 days to see a doctor, but what the heck? Let's throw $2 million down to Guatemala so that boys can say they're girls, girls can say they're boys, whatever. We gave $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. Of all the ones that I've read so far, that's the least controversial. But again, what good does it help the United States if Egypt increases their tourism dollars? I'm sure Stephanie Wells right now would not give up 1 cent of Anderson County's tourism dollars to see Egypt have good tourism. That's not our place. It's not our country. If you want to invest in tourism, throw it at the Smoky Mountains. Throw it at the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone. Throw it up there. Increase tourism here. Who cares what it is in Egypt? Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a nonprofit linked to these designated terrorist organizations. Millions of dollars to the Eco Health Alliance, which was involved at the Wuhan lab. Good Lord. Hundreds of thousands of meals that went, you ready? That went to our Al-Qaeda affiliated fighters in Syria. We sent food to Al-Qaeda. We know you're trying to kill us, boys, but we want you to be healthy when you do it. Jeez Louise. So, and I'm sure there are going to be people that say, oh, well, that transgender comic book was for this or was for that. I don't care what it's for. This is what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to shut up. I think that we, as a nation, have been blessed. I think God has his hand on us, and I think we should be a generous nation. I think we should help out all the people around us, anybody that we can, once we are healthy. You can't be $36 trillion in debt, on the verge of bankruptcy, and afford to put on a transgender opera overseas for somebody else And anybody that think that's okay, you guys, anybody out there owe for your house? Would you go and buy somebody else a house before you could pay for your own? Would you lose your house? Or would you pay your house off and maybe somebody that was homeless, have them stay with you at your house? Or maybe then use the money you're saving from paying off your house to help them get one. That's how you help people. You have to be strong. In order to, it's easy to pull somebody down. You don't have to be strong to pull someone down, but if you want to lift somebody up or pull somebody up, you have to be strong. You have to have strength about you. And our country, although it's the strongest country in the world, that's not saying much. When people are like, what? Well, that's not saying much when you look at what we waste and how we are putting ourselves in a position of jeopardy by borrowing money from China to send it to Egypt for their tourism. And then we got to pay it back. And what do we get out of that? I don't have any idea what we get out of that. I have zero, zilch, nada. I can't. Maybe there are some economists somewhere that say if the people of Egypt get richer than they already are, maybe they'll come spend some money here in the States. I don't know. But as it is today, we need to get our own house in order. So we'll leave it there. It's 11:30 on the nose. This Ask Your Neighbor. While I've yammered about, I was making sure the phone was quiet. We'll pick it back up tomorrow. I'll ask Congressman Fleischman about how this money that went through votes in Congress and Senate to be allocated and budgeted, how that happens, that we do all this stuff with it that nobody seemed to know about till Elon Musk come around. I'll find that out. I'll ask. I don't know if he'll have the answer, but he'll have an answer, so we'll see. In the meantime, guys and gals, stick around. We've got news coming up for you, top of the hour from the Fox Radio Network. Also, if you'll hang out here with us tonight, be back here for Trading Time Prime Time. I wish you guys make an effort to join Trading Time Prime Time. Melissa will be here for that. I think we're going to cover some spring football, aren't we, Jasper?
I've not got to reach out to Robbie yet because they were on spring break last week.
Won't talk to Robbie, and we can cover the game. We can do that, and then they asked if we might be interested in covering some. I didn't realize that we had this at Clinton High School. We have a girls' flag football team. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've just launched that. I actually read Robbie's post on Facebook that they are starting to do that.
We're going to have some. I think we're going to have the spring scrimmage for sure, but we might have some spring football on here.
Well, I'd like to know from the businesses out there, if you're a business, that if you'd be interested in supporting the girls, just like you do the boys.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. We will do it if the community will support it. If they don't support it, so you guys got to understand when we say stuff like that, if the businesses won't get behind it, chances are they don't believe that you'd listen to it. Therefore, they don't think it's worth investing their money into, and then we can't do it. So, if we find something we think that you guys want and the community wants it, it's usually easier for businesses to step up and sponsor it because they know there are people out there that want it. And if you guys do, if you're a business out there and you think it would be good for us to, I think it would be, if nothing else, I think it would be good at least to do a game, because there is nobody, I think, in the country doing high school girls flag football on the radio. I don't think they get any recognition for it anywhere, anyway, anytime. I would love to do that and give those girls a little bit of props on the radio.
They deserve the exposure as well.
Yeah, I'd love to give them the props on the radio.
I'd like to interview some of those girls to find out, especially the quarterbacks.
We'll put James David in there with Walt again for that.
James David may be a coach.
He might. You're not the first person that says that. That's what Robbie says all the time. He calls him coach because he thinks he's going to be a coach. He knows his stuff when it comes to sports, but we'll get him with Walt. That'll be a fun combination. But that said, until tomorrow, guys, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you join me right here for the Wednesday edition of the Country Club McMorning Show here on WYSH Radio. And if you'd like to sponsor anything that we've got, I'll tell you, call us. Jasper will take care of you. We'll get you taken care of, and we'll get you with something within your budget, and you'll make money on it. If you don't believe me, call any of the folks that are already advertising.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow.